Here are a few of the exercises that you as well as your children can do to make sure that you stimulate both sides of the brain. Very simple exercises. So let me start with the first one. Make it like a fist in one hand. Keep the other hand like a palm. So you're going to do what is called as the hit and sweep motion. So in one hand that you have a fist, you're going to hit softly, and with the other hand that you have it as a palm, you're going to sweep it all around like this. So you will keep doing it and make sure that you have to do it anti-clockwise, clockwise, whichever way it's okay, but you have to make sure that you do with both the actions using both the hands. So there are times when you will tend to hit both the hands or you will tend to move both the hands, but it comes with a little bit of a practice when you're able to actually do both the actions. Now you can reverse and do the hitting with the left hand and the movement or the sweeping with the right hand. The other exercise is where you form a fist and you're going to open the thumb in the right hand and the little finger of the left hand. So this is the movement that you will have, and you will reverse it in that. So thumb in the left hand and the little finger in this. So you have to keep doing this, and this becomes an excellent exercise for stimulating both sides of the brain and how you can actually keep yourself alert. So remember, this way and this way, this way and this way. Another exercise is where you can write or draw a circle with one hand and a triangle with the other hand. Do both the actions simultaneously. Either you draw a right triangle in this hand or a circle in this hand. So whichever way, but make sure that you do, and with practice, you will actually perfect it out. It's also very important where you make use of both your hands to write. So you can have different color pens or pencils, whatever you may have, and give the child a sheet of paper and let the child scribble. First, it happens with scribbles. So let the child scribble, and then what you can do is ask the child to make certain geometric shapes, whether it is circle or a triangle. So they start drawing it on a sheet of paper, and they will notice that yes, the hand that they are dominant in, those particular figures come out beautifully, whereas the other hand is not as perfect as the one which they have drawn with the dominant hand. So then they start practicing, and you can actually find that with practice they will become an expert, and you will notice that both the figures are somewhat similar. It's a very good exercise to do it, and even as adults it's very good for us. Basically it's all about neuroplasticity, so it's extremely good if you can try and do this. A few other things that you can actually do, which has been suggested by the neuroscientist Mr. Lawrence. It's extremely good. For example, if your child brushes with her dominant hand, let's say the right hand, ask the child maybe once or twice a week to use the non dominant hand to do the brushing of the teeth. Very simple exercise, right? Things like actions like maybe having a shower, you or your child or whoever is going to practice, it's a very good idea to say that okay, you're doing these actions with your eyes closed, and do them. You will actually observe how various senses act and help, and this is a very good exercise that you can practice it out. Very simple things. While taking a shower, just close your eyes and have a shower, while you're doing the entire process of bathing. And the other thing that you could actually do with the children is you could make grids where you have different numbers which are written. For example, I have a grid here in which I have written random numbers here. You could choose any number. For example, if you're doing it with a little child, make sure that the child is familiar with the numbers, and say if the child is familiar with numbers only till 20, make your grid smaller. Here I made a slightly bigger grid which has got almost about 45 of those small squares. And I've written the numbers 1 to 45 in a very random order. Do not write it sequentially, write it in a random order. And then what you need to do is, let's pick, say for example, a number, say 17 here. So you will say that, okay, yes, we take turns. For example, you're playing with your child. Make sure that you have your timer and you start it. And then you will look at where is number 1. And then you will place either your hand or maybe you could use an eraser, or you could use a small counter that you play with various board games, or you have, I have this which is an icing one which I use. So I keep this and I say, okay, from 1 I move on to where is 2 and 3 sequentially. For example, here I have 1 written here, and then I have 2 written here, I have 3 written here. So then you can move 1, and then you go to 2, and then you go to 3, and then you go to 4, etc., and then you go ahead to 5, etc., till you reach 17. See how fast you're able to do it, and you're having the timer there. Assume that you've done this in, say, 35 seconds. Let's find out how your partner, whoever is playing with you, is able to do this. Let's take the same number 17 and then let us see. Suppose the partner is able to do it in, say, 34 seconds. Now you try and see from where you were at 35 seconds. Are you able to do it faster? So that's how you're able to make sure that your brain works much faster. So your focus, your concentration, both sides, both hemispheres of the brain are also stimulated in this. A very simple one. This is with numbers that I have recommended. You can also do it same with numbers. For example, if your child knows the 2 times table, so you could start from 2, then move to the next number, that is the multiple of 2, or rather the 2 times table. 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, etc. So you can move from 2 to 4, or you can say it's just even numbers you're doing. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, etc., till you reach, say, 44, because 45 is the last number that we have in the grid. You could do, say, with 3 times table, with 4 times table. It can go on and on. You can then increase it, saying that, okay, let's change the numbers to something more bigger. So it becomes, say, 13 times table, 15 times table, depends on what the age group of the child is. You could also do this with the alphabets. One, the recognition of the alphabet is there for the child, whether you're doing the capital letter of the alphabet or the small case letter. So you could do start from A till that particular alphabet. Let's say you're doing it till H, or you're doing it till M. So the child goes from A, B, C, D, E, F. So the sequencing is also there, and at the same time recognition of the alphabet is there, and more importantly your time, within what particular time you're able to do, and then the speed develops. That's how. I also play this with children who are in the primary years, where we have different, kind of words written. For example, I have simple words, and, cat, mat, pot, etc. And then I say, go according to the dictionary. So the children look for what is the A, the word that starts with the alphabet A, and then move to B to C. You may have 2, 3 letters, or 2, 3 of these squares which have alphabets beginning with A. It could be an apple, it could be axe, etc. So the child still understands in the dictionary AP comes much before AX. So they could start doing it. So it depends on the age group of the child. You can do that. For the little ones, this is another interesting one which they enjoy doing it. It's like racing, basically. So give them, as I told you, 2 erasers, or 2 small toy cars, or toy bicycles, or toy trucks, whatever they have. And or you could, as I told you, use counters, use whatever objects you have, something small which is there, and make sure it is of the same size, 2 of them, and you could color them differently. You could use bottle caps, you could use various things, and draw different sections like this. I've taken up a simple one here. I've had one in red and one in black. So maybe I'll have something which is in red in color for this side and a black in color for this side. Right now, let me say I'm taking up these two. Okay, it's white in color and it is slightly silver in color. The start position is there. Ask the child to move the counter all across where the lines are to reach the destination or the stop position in that particular path as fast as possible, and try to see if you're able to map both the hands to reach the destination point in the same time. So you can start with simple kind of a map. I call this a map rather, where you could have straight lines first. So let the child get used to the straight lines first. So you can draw them, or you can use certain sellotape and stick them on a sheet of paper or on a table, etc. And then the child does it, okay, yes, with both the hands. Then you can slowly start doing it with shapes. Let's say it's a circle, so moving all around with both the hands. So you have the child moving with both the hands, coming on the periphery of whatever figure you have given. Make it a little more complicated with some zigzag patterns and some shapes, etc. And then go on to something more complicated like this, and you can have various other patterns which are created. And again, let them start timing themselves, saying that yes, I'm able to take it this way. And they can go one way and they can also return the other way. So this way they are able to use both the hands, and they are also able to stimulate both sides of the brain. Simple activities, very easy for the children to do, and make sure that you give them the two pens and let them start writing with both the hands. That's something which they enjoy. I've noticed that there's been a lot of improvement when children start doing that particular exercise. So do share your feedback in the comment section after you try out these activities. Good luck.